Happy beautiful day, happy beautiful afternoon, happy beautiful evening, happy beautiful day, happy beautiful life. It's Pete Cohen here, Psychologies magazine, and we are talking today about how to supercharge your health. I'm so excited to be here. I love Psychologies magazine. I love what it stands for. I love what it is trying to do, help people with their psychology. Do you know what psychology means? Maybe we'll come back to that in a moment. But before we get stuck in, I'm going to find this broadcast on my phone as well. I would love to know where you are in the world. Let us know where you are in the world. Would love to know. And also, what is it that you are most excited about in your life right now? What is it in your life that you are most excited about? There we go. Look, I found myself. I found myself. Let us know also, come on guys, what part of the world are you in? I would absolutely love to know what part of the world you're in. It really excites me to see who's here. Let's see. So we have got Aldi, we've got Eugenia. Looks like we've got people already. We've got Argentina in the house. Fantastic. Well done. Great to see you. Before we get stuck in, it's almost time to start because I think that no matter where we are in the world, we've all got certain things in common, right? We would all love to be healthy. So let us know where you are in the world. So Julia's in the UK. Julia, whereabouts are you in the UK? I'm also in the UK, the United Kingdom. Let us know, where are you in the world? Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to have as much participation in this broadcast as possible. And Gash is in Wales. Where are you? Where are you? Hello? Where are you? Hello? 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 I'd love to know where you are. I just heard my own voice there, but it's my own voice on the phone. So let us know. We're going to talk about supercharging your health, and I'm going to take you on a little bit of a magical mystery tour. The takeaway that I would love you to take away from this broadcast is a different perspective of your health and what you can actually do to take your health to a whole new level, right? So are you ready? Just say, I'm ready if you're ready for me to start talking. Like I said, we've got Australia in the house. Look, so we've got Australia, we've got Argentina. Where else do we have in the house? Isn't this amazing that Psychologies magazine and Facebook has given us the opportunity to connect from multiple countries all over the world? And we all have many things in common. But I can tell you, one of the most common things that we have in common is we all want something. So tell me what it is that you want in your life. If all I had to do was for you to tell me what you wanted, and then literally I just wave my magic wand and you could have it, what would you say? Now, what you'd probably find, one of the most common answers you would get, or I could put it to you in a different way, if I said, what's the most valuable thing that you own? What would you say? Now, when you ask most people that question, they will say their health. But then if you look to how people lived through their life, you'd say, hang on a second, you said that was valuable, yet the way that you reacted or what you ate or what you did is not a reflection of what you said. See, what human beings say and what human beings do are often completely two different things. And I know it's a challenge for all of us to manage our health. Why? Why do you think it's a challenge for us to manage our health? So look, before we get stuck into that, very briefly, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Pete Cohen. My background is in psychology. I studied psychology. I studied physiology first. I was a personal trainer for many years. I've written 19 books, many of those books, international best-selling books all over the world. I'm a coach. And the role of a coach is to take someone from where they are to where they want to be. That's where the word coach comes from. It comes from a coach and horses. So why would you go in a coach and horse? Well, most of the time you go because you are somewhere and there's somewhere you want to go. Where do you want to go with your health and your energy? Because of course, if all I had to do was wave the magic wand and you'd have more energy, more vitality, be fitter, slimmer, healthier, you'd just say, please do it. Now, of course, we know it's not as simple as that. We know there is something called work. There's something called dedication. There's something called discipline. You want the results, but are you prepared to pay the cost? Are you prepared to pay the price to get what you want. So let's have a look at little look. So how do you supercharge your health? Now, obviously, if you wanted to get a car and you wanted the car to be superly powerful, you'd need to get a car with an engine that had the capacity for the car to go at the speeds and do the things that you'd want that car to do. Now, you and I have been gifted with this equipment, right? This body, but this body isn't going to last forever. In fact, from the moment we are born, we're actually dying. But the challenge that we have is, how do we die? You see, while we're dying, we can actually be growing. That sounds a bit strange, right? Because we can make decisions, and often many of the decisions are made for us, because when we're born, we can't feed ourselves. We're dependent on the people around us and the environments that we live in. But most of us get to an age where we can start to make decisions. Are you able to make decisions about what you eat, what you drink, what you think, what time you go to bed, all of these things? Hopefully you're lucky if you can, because some people don't have that luxury, that you have this luxury of making this thing work better, for it to supercharge. Because this is really interesting, and I'm excited to share this with you. Do you know what that word actually means, health? Because most people, what do you think it means? This word, the word health. Because I didn't know. I really didn't know. What do you think it means? Because this might actually surprise you. And feel free in the chat box to tell us what you think it means. Because what it actually means is to renew, or renewal is actually what it means. So health is renewal. And how often do you have to renew your health? I mean, think about it. How long, if you want to supercharge your health, how long could you go without food? How long could you not eat for? I have a friend who not long ago didn't eat for 35 days. Now, I'm not advocating that to anybody, but most of us, especially if we have some fat on our body, that's why we have the ability to store fat, so that when there's no food around, we can eat ourselves. We can eat what's on our body, stored energy. And that's why so many people's healths are compromised when they're carrying too much weight, because their body is having to maintain something that it doesn't really need, an excess of something. And that's why many people have caught COVID or got COVID in a more aggressive way, because their bodies were already compromised. Most of us are compromising our health every single day. It's crazy to think about it. And it's not just what we eat, because yeah, you could go for a long time without eating. How long could you go without drinking fluid? How long? Probably a good few days, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. But what about sleep? And we talked about this in my last Psychologies broadcast. I don't know how many of you saw that, where I was talking about what we call the Magnificent Seven. The Magnificent Seven to your health, which is your ability to eat right, drink right, think right, move right, talk right, sleep right, and poo right. This was designed with myself and Dr. Rakowski, one of the top functional medicine doctors in the world. I've done a couple of podcasts with him. If you want to check those podcasts out, just go to MI365, MI365, episode 17 of 300 podcasts. One was with him. So now you know what health is. So are you prepared to renew your health every day? Okay, renew your health every single day. How do you renew your health? Well, it's pretty obvious, right? It's what you eat, it's what you drink, it's what you think. What you think has a massive impact on your health. You know that, but people don't change when we tell them what to do. I could tell you what to do, but you wouldn't do it. You do it for a bit, but inevitably you go back to what you know. That's what human beings do. And I want to ask you this question. Why do you want better health? So I'm asking you to actively get involved in this conversation that we're having, right? I'm a coach. Imagine that I'm actually talking to you. Hey, whatever your name is, lovely to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm asking you a question. Why is your health important to you? Why would you want to improve your health? Because ultimately, we have to decide the direction that we're going to take. What I would call your moral compass. And I personally believe that our moral compass should be that the direction that we're always going in is the renewal of our health every single day. Just doing the best that we can each and every single day. Why should we do that? Because I think it's what we should be doing. Our National Health Service, for those of you that live in the United Kingdom, you know that we have this system, we have this organization that can protect us. But this is where it gets a little bit scary, because these are the facts, and sometimes people don't want to hear the facts. These facts here relate to the USA, all right? 97.3% of Americans are unhealthy by four basic measures. They either smoke, measured by a blood test. They don't do 150 minutes of vigorous to moderate activity. Their body fat, if they're a woman, is over 30. If they're a man, it's over 20. And what was the other one? They don't eat a particularly balanced diet. 97.3% of Americans, 50% of Americans have a chronic health condition. 50%, a chronic health condition. Like what? Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, dementia. All of these chronic conditions have been brought about through lifestyle, through the choices that we make. And what I'd love you to wake up and just have maybe a more inspired way of looking at this, or a more empowered perspective, is that your choices are either going to move you. I would either say get rid of West and East. They're either going to move you forwards or move you backwards. And ultimately, you have to decide where you're going. Human beings can live. Really, most of us have the capacity to live till 120 years old. This body regenerates around 6 times, and it takes 20 years for the whole regeneration of this body, the whole skeletal system, everything. It's amazing, but we need to work with it as opposed to working against it. In America, 70% of people are on a prescription drug. If you're 65 or over in America, you're on 5 prescription drugs. In the UK, 90%, it's estimated that 90% of heart disease is lifestyle related. 80 to 90% of diabetes, lifestyle related. 50% of cancers, lifestyle related. And what this is doing is compromising our immune system. So how many of you right now would like to go stop? Okay, I want to do something about it. What's one thing you could do right here, right now, that would make a difference? Just one thing. Just one. Because it's often the little things that over time bring about what we call the compounding effect, right? The compounding effect of doing something every single day. Because I need you to understand something for me. Please understand this. If you said to me, hey, Pete, what do I need to believe in order for me to supercharge my health? Pete, what do I need to believe to have better health? And this is what I'd say. Believe that with concentrated effort over time, doing certain things over time, you can produce an incredible result. If I said to all of you right now, you can have $5 million, £5 million, £5 million Australian, is it pounds in Australia as well? You can tell me, whoever my friend is in Melbourne. What a great part of the world. I know you've been massively hit recently with the coronavirus. I remember seeing kangaroos just outside Melbourne. I couldn't actually believe that kangaroos were in the wild. I thought they were all in zoos. But that's how ignorant I was, because I just didn't know. But now I know better. Now I know better, I do better. And that's the same thing for us, to do better with what we know. So you can have £5 million in cash, or I'll give you £1 a day and I'll double it every day for a month. I'll give you 5 million in cash right now. Which one do you want? Or 1p a day. Not a pea as in a legume, not like a pea you eat. 1 penny a day, and I'll double it every day for 31 days. Which one do you want? Well, believe it or not, you'd want the 1p, because after 31 days, you'd have close to 11 million. Why I tell you this is, and actually for the first week, 2 weeks, you wouldn't have much. You wouldn't realize what was going on through you drinking more water every day, you exercising every single day, you going to bed that little bit earlier, making sure you sleep better, taking better care of your emotional health as you go up and you focus on daily renewal. Daily renewal. This is what I have to do. So what your shoulds, as we finish this off now, our shoulds become our musts. Our shoulds become our musts. It's not I should exercise, I should eat well. No, I must do it. Why? because I want to renew. I know how I want to exit this life. I want to exit this life without a chronic disease. I want the last few years of my life to be great years of my life. We all want that, but it's whether we're prepared to pay the price. So does anyone have any questions? I also just love to know where is everyone in the world? Because I know some of you let us know. I think we should really be celebrating that Psychologies magazine has made this available for us, but the fact that there's people here from all over. Is anyone here from Kathmandu? I'd love to know. This is not supposed to be cherries. This is supposed to be a pair of scissors, believe it or not, because the word decision means to cut off from what you were doing in the past and to reinvent yourself, to renew yourself every single day. And I know the biggest challenge with all of this, the biggest challenge with all of it, I believe, the biggest challenge is the fact that we don't feel like it. And if we let our feelings rule the show, we're in trouble. Because if we don't feel like doing something, we won't do it. And what we do when we coach people, it's all about helping people to think greater than they feel. So does anyone have any questions? We've got Spain in the house as well. Thank you for joining us. Maybe I should speak a bit slower. If you look at the description in this post, you will see a link and you can go and see, we put a masterclass together just around the whole concept of coaching and what coaching is. Because if you want something in your life, trying to do it on your own in many cases is difficult. But if you can recruit people who have done what you want to do and have the expertise, I would be encouraging you to seek their advice. And that's what Psychologies magazine is all about. The amount of experts that are laid out there for us, giving us practical tools, tips, and techniques to help us revolutionize our life, to supercharge our health. And lastly, what I want to say is this, right? You missed a few countries. Let's go back. What other countries have we got in the house? We've got Puerto Rico in the house. Yay! This is what I want to say before we end this. We've got Toronto, Canada in the house. What I wanted to say is this, right? We know that a great life, it doesn't just happen, right? It happens by design. And in this world of consumerism, I think we spend lots of time buying and consuming information that often we don't need, rather than buying better health, by renewing our health every single day. You know, none of this is rocket science, but we can do something about it. So what other countries do we have here? Anyone have any questions? We've got Kentucky, USA in the house. USA. Never been to Kentucky, but I've been to Alabama. I've been to Mississippi, Louisiana, been all around California. We've got Scotland in the house. Audrey, what part of Scotland are you in? I've never been to Puerto Rico. We've got Malaysia in the house. Amazing. Where else? Toronto. Anne, great to have you here. Guys, feel free. We've got Texas. Oh, I do love Texas. What part of Texas? What part of Texas? Hottest place I've ever been. Houston, Texas. Guys, feel free to follow me. Feel free to reach out to me if I can help you. One of the best places to find me is definitely Instagram, just Pete Cohen _ We do some great stuff on there. Where else do we have in the house? Any other countries, Jerry, that you can see?
Netherlands.
The Netherlands. What part of the Netherlands? I was made in Holland, so my parents told me, in Groningen. Any questions? Has this been interesting for you? What's been your biggest takeaway? What's your biggest takeaway? Is it the fact that you now know that health is renewal and you have to renew it every single day? Is it the fact that you know if you settle for where you are, well, you're doomed to be a statistic? We need to become deviants. We need to deviate away from what everyone else is doing. Because if we do, we've got a chance of living a wonderfully fulfilled, happy, healthy life. So any questions? Doesn't look like we've got any questions, but I really appreciate. We've got Philadelphia in the house. Eileen, great to have you here. Never been to Philadelphia, but I've been to Boston. So Boston's next to Philadelphia, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Come visit Puerto Rico. I would love to. Annabelle, reach out to me. I would love to go to Puerto Rico. It sounds amazing. I've never been to South America, so I love the world and I love human beings, you know, and I love the fact that we can communicate in this way. And the more we can connect with each other, the more impact we can have on our world. Our world needs us more than ever. it needs us to take responsibility. So Newcastle is in the house. Rebecca, thanks for joining me. Riddle, we've got so many people here. Guys, thank you so much. I would love to know in the comments, what was your biggest takeaway? And here's a question for you. It's a yes or no answer, okay? You ready? Have you taken any value from what I've just said? Yes or no, okay? Any value. If the answer was yes, you've taken something from this, please share it. It doesn't take much to share a post, and you can help Psychologies magazine's mission, which is to help people change their psychology. The word psychology means your being, and the study of your being. And the best way to study your being is to renew your being every day and find something in life that you love to do as much as you can and keep doing it. Someone asked me the question, I came late, how can I see the video from the beginning? I think when we finish, you'll be able to see it from the beginning. And Jim, let us know what you take from it. We've got Italy in the house, Milan. Fantastic. Great to see you here. Now, there was a question I just saw about habits. Let me see if I can find it. What was the question, Jerry? What's the best way to quit a bad habit? Jeanette, do you want to give me a bit more information as to what, if you don't mind, what the habit is? One of the things I'd say to you is, I'm going to do a broadcast on this next week, okay? On this page at this time. So I wouldn't look at your habits as good or bad, right? This was actually an international best-selling book that I wrote on habits, but I wouldn't buy the book. I've actually done 4 podcasts not that long ago on this subject. So this was published in 2003. I wouldn't look at your habits as good or bad. I'd look at your habits as just something you do. Why do you do the habit? You don't do it because it's bad. You do it because it gives you something. So think about what that habit gives you. It's giving you something, maybe certainty, maybe it's giving you uncertainty, maybe it's giving you significance, maybe it's giving you a connection to something, even a connection to yourself. How could you get those needs met from a different habit? A habit that served you long term. So the habit that you have that's bad is probably something that does serve you, but only in the moment, but not in the long term. So that's a short answer, but I would really encourage you to listen to the podcast I did. Yes, Jerry.
What are your views on diet and consuming meat?
You really want me to talk about that? Maybe it's another conversation. So I think the way meat is farmed is terrible. I think the way many animals are kept is shocking. I think what animals are given, in many cases, growth hormone, and so if you are going to eat meat, it should be grass fed. It should be animals that are looked after. I think if you don't eat meat, you need to be very careful that you're getting B12. But I think it's all down to opinion. It's such an interesting conversation. Maybe we'll have a conversation about that another time, but it's very interesting when you start talking about it. The podcast name is MI365, and that's with me, Pete Cohen. I'm just putting this in the comments right now. I want to thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everything that Psychologies magazine does. Feel free to follow me, connect with me. Best way to connect, Instagram. It's just my name, Pete Cohen, Pete Cohen _ and you'll see a link in the post for a masterclass that we put together. Feel free to go and watch that. I really appreciate you all being here. I feel very privileged and feel very thankful to have people here from all over the world. It's toxic, and I only do it due to stress. Oh, I see. Well, Jeanette, feel free to reach out to me. If I can help you, I will. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Psychologies magazine. What was your biggest takeaway? Put it in the comments. Don't be a stranger. Step up to the party of life. Your health is your right. You can renew it every single day. And we'll see you next time. Same time, 1 p.m. All the best. Ta-ta.